Neil Diamond. How can a songwriter connect with a teenager back in the 70s and connect with somebody as I enter into my 70s? I don't know. I don't know. A while back, I shared the top 10 Neil Diamond songs that hit home for me. And you told me, a few of you told me anyway, that that was not enough. 10 wasn't enough. And I agree. So here are 10 more. And like the first list, I lean a little bit more into the deep cuts than his biggest radio hits. In fact, 3 of the 10 songs I'm going to share with you didn't chart, including the number 1 on this list. Picking up from where we left off the last list, starting in at number 20, because this will now be our top 20. The name of the song is Solitary Man. It was off the Feel of Neil Diamond album, by the way. This was Neil Diamond's first solo hit single. It's the first single that I connected with. I was a teenager. I had a crush or 2 or 3. Didn't work out. None of them worked out. None of them panned out. I question if one ever would. Yeah, I was young. I wasn't yet a man, but there were times when I felt solitary. This one is a surprise to me. At number 19, it's African Trilogy. It's off the Taproot Manuscript album. It's just weird because it wasn't on my list. He Ain't Heavy, He's My Brother was. And I went to listen to it off of the album. And when I was checking out that song, I noticed this African Trilogy, and I listened to it, and I listened to it, and I listened to it. And I said, it's amazing I've owned this album and had access to the song over 50 years, and now I'm just now discovering it. My connection with Neil has always been his lyrics, but this 4-minute and 28-second instrumental, okay, here we go. It speaks to me. It just speaks to me. Coming in at number 18, it's Shiloh. Shiloh. This is something few souls know about me. I was raised by loving parents and fortunate to have 4 older siblings. But having said that, I spent a lot of my childhood feeling very much on my own. Shiloh was Neil Diamond's famous invisible friend. I didn't have an invisible friend growing up, but I had this song. I had Neil Shiloh. The song based on Neil's real experiences hit home with me. These are my favorite selections. What are yours? What are your favorite Neil Diamond songs? Let me know. Let me know in the comments. Coming at number 17 is the song B from the Jonathan Livingston Seagull soundtrack, the movie soundtrack. Of course, that was based upon the book. Book did real well. Movie, not so much. Candidly, I was surprised the album did as well as what it did. It's his 6th best-selling album, right behind Hot August Night. Well, in the story, of course, which is about a seagull named Jonathan, who struggles to free himself from the flock. I've always felt that this mirrored Neil Diamond, at least at that time in his journey. He was trying to break free from the constraints of his pop star image, really wanted to explore deeper elements of his creativity musically. He was looking for something deeper, something more artistic. I relate to this song because I found myself a time or 100 that constant push-pull between what people, expect of me and what I actually need to create. The song B, in a way, is an anthem that describes that struggle. Coming in at number 16, it's the song with the same album title, You Don't Bring Me Flowers. Let me be clear, I prefer the original, the one that's not the duet, Barbra Streisand. This album came out during a rapidly deteriorating relationship in my life. And dang, Neil just seemed to come out with the right song at the right time. Hit home again, you know? The lyrics, though, are relevant today, but for totally different reasons. When you get to my age, and my guess is that many of you are at my age, there seems to be lots of conversations that revolve around used to be, as in, well, music used to be better, or we used to be friends in reality and not just Facebook friends. You know, the good old days. Truth be told, the good old days, not all of them were that good, but that's a topic for a different time. Those that know me today will confirm that oftentimes when that statement comes out where somebody says used to be, I reply with the lyrics. Used to be's don't count anymore. They just lay on the floor till we sweep them away. Coming in at number 15, If You Know What I Mean. This is off the Beautiful Noise album. If You Know What I Mean, it's a song, it's reflective, it's nostalgic. I didn't know until I got ready for this episode that it was inspired by his successful seduction of an older woman. Not something that I I can relate to. But I can relate to reflection and looking back on past events in our life that describe us or define us. You know, some are good, some are others are not so good. In some ways, they're kind of ghost-like, you know, elusive, um, evasive, appear randomly. And as Neil writes, they are hard to hold them in our arms again, hard to let them go, if you know what I mean. Number 14 on my list as we climb up the list, up to number 11. It's Love on the Rocks from the Jazz Singer soundtrack. Love that movie, by the way. I love that movie. Love on the Rocks ain't no big surprise. Raise your hand. Raise your hand if you've been there. I can't see you, but I can feel you. I can feel you. Those are raising their hands, sort of the same way that Neil seemed to feel me when he came up with those lyrics. As my love life, as I knew it, was crumbling. Let's move on. As you know already, there aren't any song clips in this video. Why? I'm just trying to avoid any copyright strikes. However, all the songs are in the companion playlist, and there's a link to the companion playlist that are in the comments section of this video. There's also the video from the first version I did, the top 10 Neil Diamond songs that hit home with me. You can find that in the end screen of this video. Cante Libre. Cante Libre. Off Moods album. That's a great album. It's a great album. The title, Cante Libre, apparently means sing free. Didn't know it until I got ready for this episode. But why is this song rated so highly for me? It's the lyric. I got music running in my head. Keeps me away from the thought of dying. That line just didn't really connect with me 50 years ago. But today, yeah. We're 2 away now. Coming in at number 12, It's Done Too Soon. Off the Taproot Manuscript album again. Of course, this lists historical figures that died too young, at a younger age. A little insight for you. I'm hesitant to check obits and Facebook these days. Am I going to read yet of another one of my peers who left us before their time, in my time? Maybe someday I'll find a karaoke version of that song and replace the names that Neil Diamond cited with names of my own. Yeah, maybe that's what I'll do. or maybe not. But I did do it with our number one song, which is number 11 on this list. It's Morningside off the Moods album. I did write lyrics for this song. There's a lot to unpack here as to why this is so high on my list, but it's simple. An old man died and no one cried. That line stopped me cold. You see, I had a best friend, Carl. We spent hundreds of conversations debating music. He was a rocker, I was a popper. Truth be told, he really wasn't a Neil Diamond fan. We just had different tastes, but we had a common bond, the love of music. And just like that, Carl was gone. There was no funeral. There was no wake. There was no me saying goodbye. And I struggled with that for years. I missed those talks. I eventually realized I needed to do something, and that's why I started doing videos like this. See, I'm just not making content. I'm just not going through top 10 lists. I'm trying to recreate conversations virtually with new friends like you. I miss Carl. I do. But I found a way to keep his memory alive by chatting music with you. And that's why this is on the top of this list. There you have it. 10 more Neil Diamond songs that just hit home for me. Thanks for joining. Keep those music memories a spinning by watching one of these videos right here. And until the next time, keep that coffee brewing and let's keep our conversation flowing.